was like my survival mechanism for so long. But guess what? Leaf in the wind. Is it fun? Not so much. Also, it's exhausting. Hey, what's up you guys? I'm Fernando and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking people pleasing. I know. And the reasoning to just stop it is twofold. First of all, it's exhausting. Second of all, it's so unattractive. It's not cute. So it's just a total lose-lose. So in this video, we're gonna talk about people pleasing, what that is, why we do it, and then we're gonna go over the 3 things people pleasing does to your soul. And then at the end, I'm gonna give you some tips on how to just stop it or at least avoid it. Because the less you do it, the more magnetic you are. So let's dive deep into it. I'm also gonna share some stories, some personal things. It's going to be a jam, okay? You don't wanna miss it. So keep watching, stay until the end because it's going to be fun. And by the way, your essence is fun, is joy. So we get to have fun, right? And you know what's not fun? People pleasing. It's exhausting. All right, so what is people pleasing? It's a defense mechanism we use in order to find or to seek out safety. So we're seeking out safety in the external world and we do some people pleasing in order to get that. So for example, you're afraid of the people. So you have fear, insecurity about yourself, desire for approval. You care what other people think of you. So it's a manipulative strategy in order to find safety. Now I feel like it's almost impossible to talk about people pleasing without connecting it to empathic people. I am an empath. Are you an empath? Do you resonate? Do you identify as an empath? Maybe let me know in the comments. So an empathic person is a person who cares about other people, and a lot of times is a person who does not choose themselves first. I think being empathic is a superpower, but we get to be mindful because there's a fine line, right? Now, how does the people-pleasing mechanism work? 2 years ago, I had my first Reiki session, and by the way, that very day was the day that I stepped onto the path and I never looked back. I've been inhaling metaphysics and mysticism and law of attraction and spiritual work ever since. It's become my life, and I am so blessed. But on that day, I had my first Reiki session. I was not in a happy place. I was just arguing with everyone. I had a conversation with my mom and she was like, you know what, I've been going to this Reiki woman. Do you want to give it a try? I was like, yeah, I'll take it, you know? And she was reading my body that day, the energy, and she pointed toward my lower body and she was like, huh, that's interesting. All your energy is moving up to your head. I was like, thanks, I guess. She didn't elaborate on that. I didn't make much of it, so that was that. Further down my spiritual journey, I learned about the empaths and I learned about chakra energy, right? And what I realized is for empathic people, people who people please, what happens is we're looking for safety, right? We're looking for safety. So your chakra system is like your third eye, your chakra is like you guys at the bottom, your energy up here right now, because we gotta feel the people. And then the lower chakras are like, all right, here it goes. And then all your energy is here so that you can perceive how people are feeling, so that you can know if people are feeling distressed, if people are feeling uncomfortable, because then it's your responsibility to act accordingly so that they feel better, so that there's no tension in the air. Because if there's no tension in the air, there's safety, right? And then what happens is the energy that was in your lower chakras is not there anymore. So what happens to you is you become a leaf in the wind because you are ungrounded. But it's a superpower because you can perceive so much, right? I have a freshman's degree in psychology. Yeah, I went to psychology university for a year. I dropped out afterwards. I remember the Skinner subject. I was just so good at it. Behaviorism, the rats and all that. Like, I didn't have to study and my grades were so good. Why? Because of this mechanism. It was like my survival mechanism for so long, ever since I was a kid. But guess what? Leaf in the wind. Is it fun? Not so much. Also, it's exhausting. So now moving on to the 3 things people-pleasing does to your soul. Remember, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are the soul. The light being that's eternal and that's witnessing this experience right here, right now. The witnessing awareness that hears my voice right now, that's who you are. When your body dies, that awareness doesn't stop. It just keeps going. That's what you are. Now, people-pleasing does some pretty nasty stuff to your soul, right? So let's get to number 1. It disconnects you from you. Literally, you are the soul, you are not the character. So when you're looking outside for validation and approval, are they liking me? Am I approved? Am I loved? Leaf in the wind, right? You are losing your guidance, and your guidance comes from within. For the longest time, I waited for people to tell me what the truth was, to give me a life manual, to just like guide me in general. I was always looking out for guidance because I thought people knew more than I did. I thought they had it all figured out. But guess what? The external world is a mind projection. Because there's no out there. Everyone is you pushed out. It's all a mind projection. So if you're looking for answers in the projection, it's the projection. The projection is not the core of all that is, right? You are the core of all that is because you are the universe. Literally, you are the soul. You are not the character. You are not the body. So all the answers you're seeking is inside of yourself. So if you're people-pleasing, you're disconnected from your inner guidance because you're looking outside for approval. And so you feel confused. You feel lost. You feel out of alignment. Like, this literally is a description of who I was prior to my spiritual awakening. Not fun. You're lost, right? Because it's a projection. You're going to feel lost. And ultimately, you make poor decisions because you're not prioritizing yourself. So because you're people-pleasing, it's like you're agreeing to do stuff, but you didn't really want to do it. So you're making bad decisions that ultimately are not in alignment with your soul. Number 2, it lowers your energy and your self-worth. Your self-worth is everything because the world agrees with the beliefs and opinions you have about yourself. So if your self-worth is low, the world is going to agree with you. So people-pleasing is just a lose-lose, guys. So it's exhausting. People-pleasing, it's exhausting. It just drains your energy. Why? Because it's not fun. It's not in alignment. How can it be invigorating? It's impossible, right? It's not divine. It drains your soul's energy, which leads to resentment because you're making bad decisions. You're not choosing yourself. You're just putting other people ahead. You are like literally putting yourself behind and behind and behind and behind. One of the first affirmations I came up with in the beginning of my spiritual journey was this: I come first. I come first. Now, in the beginning of my journey, I didn't really come up with my own affirmations. I just used the ready-to-use ones, right? The traditional ones. But I remember coming up with this one. I remember being in the shower and going, I come first. I come first. Why? Because I do. And you do too. You come first. So you get to repeat that to yourself, to tell your inner child that, right? Maybe you told your inner child a different story, and so it's a child and it believes you, your subconscious mind, right? So change the story and tell your inner child, tell your subconscious mind that you come first. I come first. Remember, you cannot pour out of an empty cup, right? So people pleasing, you're like agreeing to do stuff that you don't really want to do, but you need approval, so you do it anyways. And so you're not coming first. And so when you're in the experience, you're not even having fun. You're not good company. It's a total lose-lose, right? So remember, you come first. And when you come first, there's no resentment because you're just being fabulous and you're supposed to be what you are, which is fabulous, which is divine, which is joy, which is pure light. You get to shine your light, right? If you're feeling resentment, that's going to lead you to attitudes of self-neglect. You're neglecting yourself because you're not coming first, right? And so that's going to lower your self-worth. So you're putting others ahead of you. You're feeling resentment towards everyone and everything. And that's lowering your self-worth because you're telling your subconscious mind right there and then that you don't matter as much as other people. So your subconscious literally take things at face value. It's like, yeah, we are nothing, we don't mean much, right? So it's literally believing you. What do you think happens when your self-worth is lowered? You attract people, circumstances, and events that will reflect that belief back to you, meaning the people who will come into your life, the experiences you're going to have, are going to reinforce the idea that you don't mean much, that your self-worth is indeed very low because the world agrees with you. So you come first, okay? You come first. You are spectacular. You are spectacular. Now, on to number 3, what it does to your soul when you people please. It makes you less attractive. Literally not cute. No one who's people-pleasing can be like, oh, magnetic and attractive. It's not cute. It's unattractive. It's unappealing. And ultimately, it's not fun. Why? Because you're not having fun when you're people-pleasing. How can you be having fun when you're not coming first? You are here to live your experience, your video game. You are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the character, but you come here to live your character, right? So you come first. And so when you're not people-pleasing, when you get to speak your truth, you are literally having fun. If you're holding back because, oh my gosh, what are they gonna think, right? You're not authentic. Authenticity is very magnetic. Authenticity is very magnetic. Very. Do you think you're being authentic when you're people-pleasing? I know I wasn't. It's not cute. It's not attractive. When you speak your truth, you are magnetic. And when you're magnetic, you don't have to do much. The things you're attracting, they are in alignment with you. You came here to be yourself. My ex-partner, he was a blessing in my life. He reflected back to me so many things that were so worthy and so valuable for me. And I took advantage of those things that were reflected back to me via him. And it was great. I evolved. I transformed a lot of things in my life. Now, he also reflected back to me my sense of low self-worth. It was in total alignment. When I look back and I think of it, it's like it's totally matching. He was a person that reflected my low self-worth. But it was a match back then, and it was a great relationship. But as I began to awaken and to shift these fundamental things, he fell away. We're not together anymore. Because law of attraction. Like attracts like, right? You don't have to do much. Things just fall out of your life. and other things come into your life. So this shift is very powerful because you're shifting your inner vibration. Remember, you are an energy molding instrument. You are molding cosmic energy at all times. And so if you are people pleasing and thinking that you don't really deserve much, and all those limiting stories a lot of times we tell ourselves, the quality of the energy you're molding is not cute. And so the people who will be able to come into your life will be not cute, right? They will match. So shifting is everything. You come first. So people pleasing makes you unattractive and not magnetic. It's totally low vibe and makes you inauthentic, meaning you're not having fun. So you get to have fun. If I come here to film a video and I want to speak my truth, but I am filtering what I'm going to say because I'm afraid some people might not agree, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, like the video is not going to be very attractive. Like, you will click on the video, you'll probably click off of it because I'm not being myself. I'm not having fun. And so when I come here to film, I'm here to help, I'm here to add value, I'm also here to have fun, and I love making these videos, It lights me up. And it's okay if some people don't agree with everything I say, that's fine. But I'm being me. I'm being authentic. I'm speaking my truth. And you get to speak your truth, right? And so what do you do to stop people pleasing, to avoid people pleasing? What can you do? Well, the first thing is self-awareness. So next time you're in a social situation and you're interacting with people, do your thing, but be mindful. Set an intention. I'm going to pay attention to my interactions tonight or whenever, right? And just be mindful. Do your thing. If you catch yourself people pleasing, first thing to remember is to never put yourself down. You pick yourself up instead. Always, you get to pick yourself up. And a good lifeline for you, whenever you feel like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake, and you're about to beat yourself down, a question you get to ask yourself is, isn't that interesting? So suppose you catch yourself going to people please, or you're doing it already, and you're like, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? If you see something that triggers you and you're like, oh my gosh, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? The moment you say that, you're neutral. You are not engaging in negativity. So remember this, if you need it, your lifeline, isn't that interesting? Okay, so self-awareness, be mindful so that you can gradually shift your situation, okay? Be kind with yourself, always do it with love. Love is what you are. Second of all, saying no. Why is it so hard for a lot of empaths to say no? Do you resonate? Why is it? Because it involves facing some tension. So if we say no, it's like they're not gonna like me, they're gonna think this, and that about me, there's gonna be some tension in the air. Who cares? So you are the light. The frequency of tension is darkness, right? Let's call it that. It's a lower frequency. You are the light. Just stay as what you are, which is the light. I come first. Take a breath. Isn't that interesting? Say no and stay in your frame. And just remember that if you say yes and you don't want to say yes, you're not going to have fun and it's going to be unattractive anyway. So it's a lose-lose, right? So might as well say no. So when you say no, you establish healthy boundaries because you're being truthful to yourself. You don't want to go to the party, so don't go to the party, right? Say no. You're saying yes to yourself. You matter. You come first. You come first. You come first. Remember, it's a mind projection. Don't get lost in the projection. You are the source, okay? Also, Remember who you are. How to stop people pleasing? Remember who you are. You are not the character. You are not the body. You are not the mind. You are the witnessing awareness that sees everything. When your body dies, you don't. You just go on. There's no interruption. So remember who you are. Oh, but they're going to think that I'm a bad person. You're not even a person to begin with. Okay, you're having the experience, but you're not a person. You're so much more than that. So isn't that freeing? Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting, right? Remember who you are and you come first. Self-love. This is so powerful. You gotta love yourself. You get to love yourself. It's such a blessing. You chose this. You chose to be here right now. If you don't love yourself, the world will agree with you. Do some mirror work. Look in the mirror, in your eyes, tell you how much you love yourself, how much you matter, how much you're beautiful, how much you're handsome, how much you're damn fine. Because you are. So self-love, work on your self-love. Last but not least, meditation, guys. I know a lot of people resist meditation a little because, you know, the first hurdle is kind of like it can block people from really getting into the practice. But I do have a video. Remember, meditation helps you connect to your essence, to what you really are, which is light, which is love, which is pure consciousness. So they all add up. You can totally do it. And you will see that the less you people please, the more magnetic you become and the more effortless your life becomes. And also remember to do it all with love. Always be kind with yourself no matter what. Now I really hope this resonates with you and I hope this inspires you to shift your reality because you totally can. You totally can. Now don't stop your journey right here. I'm going to link the meditation video right here for you to go check it out right now.